Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call to order the Monday, November the 10th, Cabarrus County Board of Education business meeting, and welcome to all of you that are here. The presentation of colors tonight is from the Mount Pleasant High School Air Force Junior ROTC. The cadets from Mount Pleasant High School will present the colors. Cadet Major Hunter Moore, Cadet Captain Mary Beth Lewis, Cadet Lieutenant Aaliyah Bennett, and Cadet Lieutenant Christina Mann. Please rise.
Hold. Left. Face. Reason. Arm.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Arm. Pose. Right. Face. Forward. Arch.
Thank you. Board members, I'd like a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to move item 4.3 up in front of item 4.1. We've got a request with several folks that are here that have been here for about an hour, so I'd like to have that opportunity to go first.
I have a motion to move item 4.3. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second that we move item 4.3 up to do it next. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. I have a motion to adopt the amended agenda. I need a motion to adopt the amended agenda.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Harrison.
Second.
A second by Mr. Walter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the amended agenda has been adopted. We will move on to section 4.3, our teacher assistant of the year, and we will ask Ms. Glenda Jones to the podium.
All right, thank you. Just want to give a little background about our Teacher Assistant of the Year. The Cabarrus County Schools Teacher Assistant of the Year program honors the contributions of pre-kindergarten through 12th grade teacher assistants to their schools, communities, and profession. The Cabarrus County Schools Teacher Assistant of the Year will be submitted as a finalist in the North Carolina Association of Teacher Assistants of the Year program. The Cabarrus County Schools Teacher Assistant of the Year must meet the following eligibility requirements in order for Cabarrus County Schools to submit to the NCATA Teacher Assistant program. The Teacher Assistant of the Year must be a member of the North Carolina Assistant Teacher of the Year for 2 consecutive years prior to the nomination. The Teacher Assistant of the Year must be employed as a teacher assistant for a minimum of 2 years prior to the nomination. The district winner Teacher Assistant of the Year must submit a portfolio, and the Teacher Assistant of the Year must be active in the North Carolina Association of Teacher Assistants, shows interest and attends meetings of the association at the local, district, and state level. Tonight we would like to recognize our Teacher Assistants of the Year before we move on to recognize the Teacher Assistant of the Year. From A.T. Allen Elementary School, we have Sean Irwin. From From Carl A. Furr Elementary School, Casey Clark. Concord Middle School, Tavia Lawing. Cox Mill Elementary School, Tanya Crowell. From Harold E. Winkler Middle School, Patty Martell Nicolaitis. From Harrisburg Elementary School, Lisa Ryan. From Mount Pleasant High School, Luann Allman. Mount Pleasant Middle School, Elizabeth Canup. I'm going to recognize Pitt School Road Elementary School, Lydia Talent, who could not be with us tonight. Rocky River Elementary School, Ella Boast. Royal Oaks Elementary School, Janet Burris. W.R. Odell Elementary School, Yvonne Martin. W.M. Irvin Elementary School, Tony Yao. Weddington Hills Elementary School, Elena Matthews. Wolf Meadow Elementary School, Cindy Wagner. And Bethel Elementary School, Tammy Lambert. Okay. Tammy Lambert is actually our district teacher assistant of the year, and she works at Bethel Elementary School with students in kindergarten through second grades. She also supervised kindergarten computer lab at the school. Miss Lambert began her career with Cabarrus County Schools 16 years ago at Bethel as a teacher assistant bus driver. Her principal, Kevin Blackburn, writes, and I might add she was a little concerned about this. Miss Lambert is Bethel and everything it stands for. She is loving, caring, compassionate, and overall extraordinary. Mrs. Lambert can do anything. She can facilitate small group instruction, or she can be our bus driver on field trips when needed. She can keep the breakfast line running like clockwork and the kindergarten and first grade's lunches operating like a well-oiled machine. She can console a child who is scared or homesick and run a computer lab as well as anyone. In her spare time, she works at the local voting precinct, takes care of her wonderful children, and even keeps her husband in line. She is an active member of the Midland community and a part of the Cabarrus County Schools family. We are proud to call her one of our own. She is and always will be a Bethel Bengal. Congratulations to Tammy Lambert.
Okay, and now we will go to 4.1, our Impact Through Education Awards, and we will ask Ms. Ronnye Boone to the podium.
Good evening. Tonight we will recognize students and staff members for Impact Through Education Awards from R. Brown McAllister Elementary School and also from Concord Middle School. Before we begin with the awards, we want to thank our sponsor for the Impact Through Education Awards, our friends at Concord Printing. We appreciate their generosity and their continued support of this wonderful program. Now on to tonight's awards. Would any members of the R. Brown McAllister Elementary School administrative team please come forward at this time? Or I should say, the administrative person at R. Brown McAllister Elementary School. Sorry about that. Our first honoree from R. Brown McAllister is Emma King. Would Emma and her family please come forward? Emma is a fifth grade student at R. Brown McAllister Elementary and a role model in her school and her classroom. She demonstrates good character in her interactions with her peers, teachers, and other members of the R. Brown family. She's creative and enthusiastic. R. Brown students and staff look forward to seeing her smiling face on the school's televised morning announcements each day. Additionally, Emma participates in the school's drama club. During the musical performance, Emma blew everyone away with her angelic voice. This young lady has future superstar written all over her. Emma is kind, patient, and always willing to help others. She's respectful, responsible, and ready to learn. To top it all off, Emma is an honor roll student who is conscientious about her work. Doing well in school is important to her and her family. Hats off to you, Emma, for being an all-around great student. And congratulations on being a recipient for the Impact Through Education Award for R. Brown McAllister. Our next honoree from R. Brown McAllister is Kelby Lawing. Would Kelby and his family please come forward? I see. It's a big night for the Lawings. Kelby is also a fifth grader at R. Brown McAllister Elementary. He demonstrates great character in his classroom and around the school. Kelby is very friendly and often exudes a joyful spirit. Kelby shows his patriotism and responsibility by being a member of the flag team at R. Brown. Each morning, he is responsible for helping to raise the American flag and the state flag, observing all the traditions that go along with that responsibility. This young man works hard to get good grades in school. He participates every day, and his teachers count on him to share his deep thinking during reading instruction. Kelby also works hard at home. His parents are strong advocates for him and have taught him that education is important to his future success. With a winning smile and a persevering spirit, Kelby has a bright future ahead of him. R. Brown expects great things from this young Bobcat. Congratulations, Kelby. You are an Impact Through Education Award winner for R. Brown McAllister. Congratulations. Our next honoree from R. Brown McAllister is Ms. Jennifer Bird. Would Ms. Bird and her family please come forward at this time? Wow. Jennifer Bird joined the R. Brown McAllister staff 4 years ago and has quickly become an invaluable member of the R. Brown family. In her role as school guidance counselor, she wears many hats. She's an avid supporter of all students and has made it her goal to help them succeed academically and socially. It takes a special person to be able to perform the duties of this job because the core of the job is to counsel, teach, guide, motivate, listen, and most of all, smile. All of this while maintaining professionalism and boundaries. Mrs. Bird is responsible for the character education program at R. Brown. She incorporates these character lessons into her daily guidance lessons. This year, she teamed up with the school's new resource officer, and they have offered joint classes about alcohol and drug awareness, stranger danger, anti-bullying, and building student self-awareness. When asked how Ms. Bird helps our school, students say that she makes it cool to be a smart kid. Another said, Mrs. Bird helps me to calm down when I'm really mad. She buys me new clothes when I need them. Full disclosure about that comment. The school has a clothing closet that houses gently used items for students in cases of emergency. Mrs. Bird maintains the clothing closet and keeps it organized. Other students are excited because this year she's teaching the students to find out how they are smart. For example, some Bobcats are word smart, art smart, musically smart. You get the picture. This helps students to better understand themselves as learners. Parents are also appreciative of the support that Mrs. Bird provides. One of them asked, "Can my child visit with Mrs. Bird since they already have a relationship?" Principal Ward says, "It makes me the most proud to witness the impact she has on our students. Through community service and outreach projects, she is teaching our youngsters how to be kind and compassionate to others and to show empathy for those who may struggle in this world. She definitely helps to make R. Brown McAllister a more positive and happy place to learn and grow. Thank you for all that you do for the students of R. Brown McAllister, Mrs. Bird, and congratulations on receiving this Impact Award." And our final honoree this evening from R. Brown McAllister is Ms. Susan Doty. Would Ms. Doty and her family please come forward? Susan Doty was chosen for this recognition for many reasons. As a longtime employee of Cabarrus County Schools, with many of those years being at R. Brown, she has worn many hats. Whenever someone needs to know about anything about the history of R. Brown or how a particular tradition was started at the school, Ms. Doty is the go-to gal. Another wonderful aspect of having Ms. Doty as a part of the R. Brown family is that she knows almost all of the students and their parents and even some of their grandparents. In her role as front office receptionist, she was the first person to greet students and staff each morning and the first to warmly welcome visitors to the school. The front office staff at R. Brown is known for their unique sense of Southern charm and hospitality, and Mrs. Doty is a big reason for that. People are immediately put at ease when they interact with her because she works to meet their specific needs. A few years ago, Ms. Doty moved from the front office receptionist position to the position of data manager. She works flawlessly with the data system, providing staff and families with the information they need in a timely manner. She has survived the transition from the TIMS information system to the NCY's information system, and now to the state's Power School system, but just barely. That's what's in the script. She has seen many administrators come and go, but her loyalty, dedication, and passion for the R. Brown McAllister school community has never wavered. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mrs. Doty, and congratulations on receiving this Impact Through Education Award. Now we will move on to honoring students and staff members at Concord Middle School for the Impact Through Education Award. Would any members of the Concord Middle School administrative team please come forward at this time? Our first honoree from Concord Middle School this evening is Javion Candidate. Would Javion and his family please come forward? Javion is a 7th grade student at Concord Middle School. He attended R. Brown McAllister for his entire elementary school career. His favorite subject is science, where he enjoys conducting lab experiments. Javion enjoys playing football and basketball with his neighborhood friends and attending church with his family every Sunday. He enjoys watching his favorite sports teams, the Cavaliers and the 49ers, play on television with his father and grandfather. Javion has aspirations of becoming a heart doctor after attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. According to his teachers and peers, Javion has set an ongoing example of expected behavior by modeling respect, responsibility, and safety on a daily basis. His academic work ethic is commendable based on his performance in class and his academic success. He exemplifies the ideal student who works hard to complete daily tasks and sets a good example for his peers through his daily actions. Congratulations, Javion. You are an Impact Through Education Award winner for Concord Middle School. Our next honoree from Concord Middle School is Autumn Goins. Would Autumn and her family please come forward? Autumn is a 6th grade student at Concord Middle School. She's originally from Knoxville, Tennessee, and moved to North Carolina when she was in 2nd grade. She attended Royal Oaks Elementary School from 2nd through 5th grade. Autumn enjoys reading novels with a dramatic theme and listening to pop music in her spare time. Her favorite activity outside of school is to go to the mall with her sister and shop with her friends. Autumn's favorite subject in school is science, where she enjoys learning about astronomy. She too has aspirations of attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where she will study medicine and become a pediatrician. According to her peers and teachers, Autumn is committed to working hard and sets a good example both academically and socially for her peers by showing respect, being responsible, and staying safe. Autumn is a joy to be around and an inspiration to her peers. Congratulations, Autumn. You are an Impact Through Education Award winner for Concord Middle School. Our next Concord Middle School honoree is Ms. Amy Brewer. Would Ms. Brewer and her family please come forward? Amy Brewer is an 8th grade science teacher at Concord Middle School. She's worked for Cabarrus County Schools for more than 7 years, serving as a science teacher for 6th, 7th, and currently 8th grade. Mrs. Brewer attended the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, where she obtained her bachelor's degree in science and her master's degree in middle grades education. She enjoys practicing her art skills by painting and line dancing. She serves as a youth leader at her church, where she plans activities and conducts lessons in Christian outreach. At Concord Middle, she serves as the co-chair on the school leadership team, a member of the PBIS team, and works directly with the administration to address the needs of the school as a whole. Mrs. Brewer does an incredible job of providing weekly information and updates, rolling out new initiatives, and providing ongoing academic and behavioral support to students. According to her colleagues and students, Mrs. Brewer is an excellent leader who is committed to addressing the various needs of the students and staff at Concord Middle School. She's continually making efforts to be positive and encourages others to be positive as well. She reminds everyone that each day is a new start and an opportunity for success. Her hard work and commitment are integral to the success of the students and staff at Concord Middle School. Congratulations, Mrs. Brewer, on receiving the Impact Through Education Award. And our final honoree this evening from Concord Middle School is Mrs. Equanda Moore. Would Mrs. Moore and her family please come forward? Oh, be careful. Equanda Moore began working for Cabarrus County Schools in 2002 as a teacher assistant at Harris Road Middle School in the Teach classroom. She then transitioned to J.M. Robinson, where she worked as a teacher assistant in the Occupational Course of Study classroom. Mrs. Moore made her final transition to Concord Middle School in 2004, where she has served as a teacher assistant in the Behaviorally and Emotionally Disabled classroom, Learning Connections, the PACE program, and currently as the in-school suspension coordinator. Mrs. Moore works with the most behaviorally challenged and academically challenged students at the school. She is a constant support to staff and provides students who are displaying difficulty in class with an opportunity to correct their behavior and return to their academic setting with success. Mrs. Moore works continuously to address the overall behavioral needs of the school with the school's administrators while supporting the PBIS team with data and information pertinent to the progression of the program. In Mrs. Moore's spare time, she enjoys spending time with her family, reading books of all genres, and attending sporting events throughout Cabarrus County. According to Mrs. Moore's colleagues, she has the incredible ability to connect with students and parents of Concord Middle School. She proves to be a constant support to both staff and students. She's committed to promoting excellence and the academic growth for all students through structure, consistency, and most of all, love. Congratulations, Mrs. Moore, and thank you for making an impact through education at Concord Middle School.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations again to all the award winners. And we certainly do appreciate, Ms. Boone, the presentation. And we will move on to 4.2, our Hilbish Ford Teacher of the Month. And Tim Vaughn is not here, so we'll welcome Glenda to the podium, and Dr. Shepard and I will come down and present the award.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Each month, Hilbish Ford salutes an outstanding Cabarrus County Schools teacher with this award. As always, we want to acknowledge Mr. Vaughn and Hilbish Ford for their continued support and generosity, and thank them for celebrating and rewarding our teachers in this way. The Cabarrus County Schools Hilbish Ford Teacher of the Month for November is Amelia Marler. Ms. Marler, would you, your family, and any members of your school's administrative team please come forward? Amelia Marler is a kindergarten teacher at Harrisburg Elementary School. She was nominated for this month's award by a parent who wrote, Ms. Marler was one of the only kindergarten teachers that we did not know at Harrisburg Elementary, and our youngest child was assigned to her class. We had some worries about our daughter starting kindergarten and shared our concerns with Ms. Marler at open house. Within a few weeks, she called us to come in and talk about what she was seeing so we could compare notes. With a class full of students, for her to take such care and notice with one child on such sensitive issues has been a blessing. I am not sure where we would be if she was not so attentive and compassionate. On behalf of Cabarrus County Schools, Ms. Marler, thank you for the care and concern you have for your students. Now, we would like to allow Chairman Kiger and Dr. Shepard to present you with your award.
Not only do you get a trophy, you also get a check.
Yay.
So, there we go. All right, and that's great. Okay. 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, if you'd go through and let the board congratulate you.
Okay, and I can personally vouch for how good Amelia is. She had either the honor or horror, whichever way you want to look at it, of teaching my little fifth grader when Davis was at Harrisburg Elementary. So she was great then, and evidently you're still great. So keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Okay, board members, we will move on to 4.4, and we will welcome Barbara Slingerland to the podium for the PBIS Leadership Awards.
Cabarrus County Schools has participated in positive behavior intervention support since its inception in North Carolina in 2007. At a Department of Public Instruction recognition last week, 9 of our schools were recognized as PBIS schools. Beginning their implementation last school year, Opportunity School and Winkler Middle were recognized as Green Ribbon schools. A.T. Allen, C.C. Griffin, Mount Pleasant Elementary, Royal Oaks, and Wolf Meadow Elementary were recognized as model PBIS schools. And Beverly Hills Elementary and Coltrane Webb were recognized as exemplar schools, having participated for many years with high fidelity. It is my pleasure this evening to recognize 2 individuals out of only 17 in the state who received the 2014 PBIS Leadership Award. I'd like to call forward Karen Holler and Trish Scardina. Karen Holler, our first recipient, is a multi-tiered systems of support coach at Winkler Middle. She has worked hard to ensure that Winkler is a leader in both MTSS as well as positive behavior support. Our second award recipient is Trish Scardina. As you know, Trish is the assistant principal at Beverly Hills Elementary. Beverly Hills has been participating in PBIS since 2008-2009 school year, and Trish has been highly instrumental in the program's success. I'd like to congratulate you both on exceptional leadership in the area of positive behavior supports.
Okay, thank you very much, Barbara. We appreciate that. And we have 4.5, Dr. Shepard, is going to the podium for recognition of outgoing board members. Welcome, Dr. Shepard.
Thank you, sir. I think it's more than coincidental that this is occurring in the month of November at the same time of our celebration of Thanksgiving. Because if there is a theme for what I want to say tonight, it is thank you. Thank you for 2 of our board members who have served faithfully and are now leaving this board. First, I want to recognize Mr. Blake Kiger. Mr. Kiger, if you'd come forward, please, and we'll let me talk, and then we'll have our picture made, and then I'll come back and talk some more, okay? All right. I'm just going to talk for a while. How's it? Mr. Kiger has been a board member from 2010 to 2014. In 2012 and 2013, he served as our board vice chair. And this past year, he served as our board chairperson. The plaque reads, "In recognition and appreciation for your years of dedicated service to the Cabarrus County Board of Education and Cabarrus County Schools this day, November 10th, 2014. Blake, thank you for all you've done. I've loved working with you. Mr. Shue, if you would come forward next. Lynn Shue has served on our Board of Education from 2000 to 2008, took a two-year hiatus and came back 2010 through 2014. Had the honor of working with him as our board chair in 2012 and 2013. And it says, in recognition and appreciation for your years of dedicated service to the Cabarrus County Board of Education and Cabarrus County Schools, November 10, 2014. And Lynn, I've loved working with you both times, and I'm going to miss you here, but I'm looking forward to working with you on the County Commission.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shepard. Lynn and I both greatly appreciate that. On behalf of Lynn, I'm saying that, and thank you. Before we move on to Section 5, I would like to recognize our SRO that's here tonight, Deputy Jacob Barrier from Mount Pleasant Elementary School. Deputy Barrier, we appreciate all you do out at the school, and we appreciate you being here tonight for us as well. Thank you very much. All right, board members, we'll move on to 5.1, approval of minutes from October 6th, 2014 work session, the October 13th, 2014 business meeting, and the October 20th called meeting. Does anybody have any comments or corrections to the minutes?
Okay, Mr. Chair, on the October 6th board meeting, on the page 4, second paragraph, I don't think that number at the end of the paragraph is correct, the correct number. It reads, the superintendent recommends pursuing additional funding sufficient to award the base bid and the recommended bid alternates and a 3% construction contingency from the Board of County Commissioners at their November meetings. The total comes to $20,406,992. I think that $20 million should be $15,527,206. And
I'm sorry, and 206?
206. That's
okay. Since I know that since the meeting, the numbers have changed because we did a couple different things, but is either, does somebody, Ms. Emily or Ms. Monroe or Dave, can you tell us which one is the correct number to have for our minutes on that? And this is as of the date of October 6th.
That's right. The October 6th meeting minutes, I think if you make on that sentence where it says the total amount comes to $20.4 million, I think if you insert total project amount or the total anticipated project amount, because that number was intended to be construction costs, furniture and equipment costs, startup funds, technology, all those other costs. So it was supposed to be a total project cost.
Okay, and it's my recollection that that's what we were talking about during the meeting was the total project cost. Does any other board members have any comment to make? No. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So with that clear.
Well, I do
Phillips?
have a small typo in the minutes for I think it's the 13th, page 6, very first paragraph, third line. It says each of the schools is, and I think it should be each school. It says each schools is, and it should say each school is. It's just an extra S there in school.
Okay,
yeah.
we can, I'll make that correction by hand, Ms. Monroe, when I sign the document, so that would be fine. So do I have a motion that we approve the minutes as presented with the two corrections?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'll have to recuse on 13th and the 20th as I was absent those days. And so whenever Ms. Monroe records this, I'll be voting for October the 6th and recusing on the 13th and on the 20th.
And that is fine, and I think what Mark and Sarah have told us, we are only voting for minutes of meetings where we were in attendance. So, but I appreciate you pointing that out, and if I could have a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison. I need a second. Second by Dr. Phillips. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries, and the minutes have been approved. So thank you for that clarification, Rob, and Dave, thank you very much. Okay, we will move on to our report section, and we will go to board chair comments. And without getting too far off track, there are a couple comments that I would like to make. And as this my last meeting as being the board chair, I would like to sincerely thank the citizens of Cabarrus County for allowing me the opportunity to sit on this board for the last 4 years and help direct and guide our school system, of which I have a strong interest in, and am very happy with the work that we have been able to do. I would also like to, I did make notes, maybe I should get those out. I would also like to sincerely thank my fellow board members for the honor and the privilege of allowing me to serve as your chairman for the last year. So I greatly appreciate the faith that you had in me. I hope that we had a good year and that everybody felt like they got to say what they wanted to say, and we had a good working relationship and took care of our business in a fair and equitable way. So thank you very much for that. And to Mr. Shue, specifically to you, I enjoyed being your vice chair for 2 years and learning a little bit about what goes on, but you're never really ready until you sit here. And you told me the first day, it's not as easy as it looks, and you were right. It is not, but we wish you all the best. 12 years of public service sitting here. God bless you for wanting to keep on going and do another 4 years on another board, but we are excited about your opportunity to go over there, and we wish you all the best. And Patty as well. You couldn't do it if you didn't have a lot of support at home, and that's a tremendous blessing. And to Dr. Shepard and the staff, I have enjoyed every minute of being here. You guys are very professional, just an incredible staff that works in our school system. And my one piece of advice going out the door is don't stop trying to be a top 5 system. Keep driving every single day to get there. But I've said for 4 years, when you get there, you only get to celebrate one day, because the day after that, you got to start pushing to be in the top 5, that's right. And that's the goal. And I have I have no doubt whatsoever that the people sitting in this room, and the system, and the staff, and the administrators, and the parents, and everybody across this district will get there, and it'll be a happy day when that happens. So, without any further ado, that concludes my comments. And I will pass the microphone over to Dr. Shepard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We're proud to announce a few things tonight. First, that J. M. Freese Magnet School was recognized last week at the North Carolina State Board of Education meeting for its achievement in STEM education. Only 12 schools from across our state received this recognition, and J. M. Freese was the only school from the Southwest region, District 6, to be recognized. Also want to say congratulations to J. M. Robinson High School robotics team for receiving a $1,000 grant from the IBM Community Grants Program. The team will use the funds to expand the robotics program at the elementary level. And also, my words of congratulations also to Emily Angels, a teacher at Weinkoff Elementary School, who has been named our most recent hometown hero through the Manette Law Firm's Teacher Recognition Program. I want to remind you that November is the beginning of peak flu season. Health officials encourage everyone 6 months and older to get a flu vaccine. Vaccines are available at the doctor's office, local pharmacies, and Cabarrus Health Alliance. We offer them here in the school system. I had mine taken right over by where Chris Louder was sitting the other day, and it's a good thing to get. In addition to getting vaccinated, we can also take everyday precautions like washing our hands and covering our coughs to reduce the spreading of germs. Parents are also encouraged when your children are sick to keep them at home to prevent the spreading of germs, and we also ask our adults to do the same thing. Don't forget that tomorrow, November the 11th, is a holiday for our students and staff as we observe Veterans Day. I've often said rather than taking a day of vacation on Veterans Day, the state should require us to stay in school and devote the day to learning about our veterans. But instead, we'll have many public ways tomorrow to do that, and maybe our kids will get some education as they do. Finally, I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and hope you get some quality time with your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shepard. And at this time, I would like to ask if Mr. Shue would like to make any comments before we leave this section of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You know, it's a very moving type time for me, because when you've done something for 12 years, you know, it becomes a part of you, and it seems to be like it's really grown on me over the years. And I got on the school board in the year 2000, with the intent to give back to the citizens of Cabarrus County my public service for all that they had done for me when we were in business for ourselves. You know, the citizens of Cabarrus County helped me grow a rather reasonable business, and this was my way to give back to the system. But you know, it turned out the other way, because I got a whole lot more, you know, than, I mean, I think that I got more by being a school board member than anything that I can even think of, really, because it helped me grow, it helped me realize the public service, and my wife, Patty, as you see her, she's sitting back there, you know, she's been the wind under my wings, as you might say, because she's been there through the 11 and 12 o'clock meetings, not many past 12, but through the meetings here, meetings there, going wherever. Patty has been right there with me to see to it that, you know, all of my needs were met, all the doctors and the healthcare professionals that have kept me going all these years, and my board members. I've had the privilege to work with some really good board members. I'm glad to see Tim, you and Vince coming on the school board. And Blake, I tell you, I hate to see you go, you know, but thing is, we're still here. We're still in Cabarrus County. We're not going to go nowhere. My next move is up. I'm not making no more lateral moves. They up, you know. But I just want you to know that I'm always available, not only for you, but for any of the board members at any time, staff members as well. And, you know, I'm not moving out. I'm just moving over a little bit, a little different role. I'm looking forward to working with the county commission. I'm looking forward to trying to make things better for everybody. And, you know, I just want to continue doing public service. I think it's where I was supposed to be, and I'm just looking forward to the transition. So I appreciate the staff. You guys are marvelous. Chuck, you know, I'm looking forward to what you're going to do there, and Dan in your capacity, and Chris and Donna and Robert, all of you, and on this side, Miss Probst and Miss Klutz, you know, and Dave, all of you guys. If Cabarrus County citizens really knew what you had, you know, in these particular people, you know, it would be amazing. And Dr. Shepard, you know, you've heard me say it many times, and the old rule still stands that the ship is no better than its captain. And, you know, so I appreciate your efforts and all that you've done. And, you know, we've come through a lot of phases back in the early 2000s and late 90s when Dr. Butch Winkler was here. We went through a growing spurt where all we could get done was build schools, built schools, built schools. That's all we could get done was literally build schools. But since then, when Dr. Shepard, when you came on in 2008, you know, you stepped us up to a different level, because we went from building schools to improving our academics, and we have done that. The Cabarrus County Schools has continually progressed forward, and it will. But we came from 74.7% graduation rate to 88.1%, and we're not through yet. All the different programs that you have instituted in Cabarrus County Schools, you know, it's making the difference, Barry. And I appreciate you, appreciate all you board members, and like I said, I'll be available if you need me. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call. If you don't, be your own fault. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shue. And I knew I should have got my notes out sooner, because I did forget something. And I did want to make one other comment. As the board chair, you have a lot of interaction with the board attorneys, Sarah and Mark, and also with the board clerk, Ms. Monroe. So to Sarah to my left and to Eileen on the right, thank you very much for all your dedication and hard work, and taking my phone calls and helping me figure out which way's up and where we're going and everything else. So you guys were always available when I needed something, and I just appreciate it very, very much. So with that, we're going to move on to...
Mr. Chair,
yes, Mr. Harrison.
Can we possibly have just 30 seconds each to say a word?
No more than 30.
Oh, please. I just want to say...
We do have a consent agenda and some business to do. No, go ahead, Mr. Harrison.
I just want to say this much about yourself and Mr. Shue. Whenever I received advice, and whenever either of you took me to the woodshed, it was for the betterment of the system, and it was with no agenda of your own. I have great, great, great admiration for the skills and the personality of each of you. I'm going to miss you. don't go far. And you guys, respect you too, did a great job. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
As well as Ms. Carpenter.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. We greatly appreciate those comments. Okay, we will move on to the guest speaker portion of the program. I don't see our speaker. Well, we'll get through. We'll introduce it and we'll see where we get. But guest speakers may be scheduled on the agenda of the board's business meeting. We call in the board clerk at 704-262-6238 by 12 noon on Friday prior to the meeting. The individuals addressing the board may speak for 3 minutes, and persons representing a group may speak for 5 minutes. The Board of Education thanks any and all individuals who are interested and want to come speak to the board, and we welcome your input. We did have a person sign up tonight to speak. Is Ms. Cindy Joseph here? Okay, not seeing her. We will move on to the approval of the consent agenda. So board members will move on to Section 8. And these are the items we discussed last week and placed on the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion by Mr. Shoemaker.
Second.
And a second by Mr. Harrison. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries 6-0. And we will now move on to our action agenda. Approval of policy 6200 on first reading. I may need a second. We'll get Dr. Louder up, and I need to get my iPad situated here so I can get to the right spot. Okay, 6200, and Mr. Walter, I believe you're the one that asked to go on the action. So is there any comment that you'd like to make?
Yeah, I don't have any objections to the changes that you've got proposed here. I just wanted to say that this is goals, and this is our opportunity to add some of these goals, and I had 3 that I wanted added, or 1 clarification and 2 that I thought needed to be added to this. On number 1, instead of saying operating the program efficiently, I wanted to add the words school breakfast, lunch, and snack program. I also think that one of our goals that we talked about was reducing waste for our nutrition program. I think that ought to be on there as either number 5 or number 6, whatever number would be next. And then lastly, is what I talked about last week, is we have a policy that talks about providing nutritious meals at the lowest possible price, and I think that's also a goal, and that ought to be added as number 6. Those are my suggestions to this policy.
Okay, thank you for those suggestions. Would you like to make a motion that they're added and have a formal motion?
I'd like to make a motion that those comments I just made will be added to this policy.
Okay. I'll second that. Okay, I have a motion and a second that the comments, that we adjust the agenda, the policy as per the comments of Mr. Walter, and a second by Dr. Phillips. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries 6-0. And we will move on to 8220 on first reading. And we'll take a second. Everybody can pull that up. I believe this is the one that I added with, or discussed with Mark. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we have done some wordsmith on the bottom, and it now reads: the board may accept gifts of services or materials at the recommendation of the superintendent or designee. And I believe that change was made because it matches what's written above in the policy above. And as far as the facilities go, board owned or maintained facilities, because the board, we own some and we maintain some, and that was a recommendation from Sarah. So does anybody have any other comment on the way this is worded? And again, if anybody wants a little clarification on what the driving force was behind this, I gave you that last week. I'm happy to do it again if need be.
Yeah, and I'm supportive of the changes. I just think that we have something in here that says E-rate service provider that's confusing to, I would think, the majority of the people reading this policy, and if there's some way we could either define that or put a link to it, I think that would be helpful with readability.
Okay, I believe our attorney has advised that a link is not probably what we're after, but I don't really have any objection to a definition if it just so if somebody reading it knows what that means, unless there's some reason that we shouldn't do that. And then I don't know if other board member wants to make a comment on either defining or putting a a hyperlink, I guess you're talking about in the computerized version. Sarah, do you want to make a comment?
Sure, I'll just add, on the hyperlink, we generally try to minimize our use of hyperlinks in policies to the extent they may change over time so that we're not having to constantly update hyperlinks. We do include them when they're recommended from the state level because those typically get directed towards DPI policies. The E-rate definition is encapsulated in the final legal reference to this policy. The FCC's 6th report and order 10-175. E-rate is a federal program that has various requirements associated with it. So I'm happy to add additional language to this or a hyperlink if that's the board's desire. I just would want to make sure that we're not being too narrow, because I would ultimately have to rely back on what the current federal regulations were that describe and structure the E-rate program.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Walter, if you'd like to add the hyperlink, you can make a motion, I guess, to see if you want to, or you want to get to hear a comment.
I just think it's simple just to add a hyperlink to it, and that'll define if somebody really wants to know what an E-rate service is, they can find that information.
Okay.
So I would like to make a motion to add a hyperlink to that defines what that is.
Okay. We have a motion to add a hyperlink to the policy.
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. 5-1. I typically take the advice of counsel, and that's what I go with. Okay, that's easy enough. But and Dr. Ladder, you can handle that pretty
Yes.
quickly. Okay, fantastic. And we'll move on to 3225 on second reading. And let's see, we'll do the same. Let's get our computers to catch up. This is the technology responsible use. We've had pretty extensive conversation on this. We've talked about it. The vote was 5-2 to move the policy in its current form from first reading to second reading. So it is, and I believe Mr. Walter asked for this to go on action. So would you like to make a comment on this as well?
Yeah, we've already discussed it. Again, my point is I think it's too restrictive. I think it could be worded better to allow, this is the 21st century. We do use social media. We do use these things. We have over 40 administrators and teachers that I know of that are using it. As long as it's responsible and there's a way to go through, there's obviously other policies that can be followed if someone's not using it appropriately. But the way I read the policy, I think it's a little too restrictive, so I'm going to oppose it.
Okay. Again, we've talked about this quite a bit. If there's anybody tonight's the first time they're hearing it, I just urge you to go back if you're interested and go back and watch the previous videos. Does anybody else have a comment to make?
I'm still on the same side with Rob on this. I think it is. It just opens us up to second guessing if we then come down hard on somebody and not on somebody else because they have misused Twitter or some other account.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. And again, we had quite a bit of discussion with the attorney on how this is set up and how we should proceed. And in its current form was the advice that we got from counsel to adopt. So just to reiterate that. So if I have a motion to approve the policy 3225, 4312, 7320 on second reading.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Harrison.
And I'll second.
And a second by Mr. Shoemaker. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, that motion carries 4-2. So, okay, fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Louder. We certainly appreciate it. And board members, I now need a motion and a second that the board convene in closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3, 143-318.11A6, and 115C-319 through 321. I have a motion by Mr. Harrison.
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Shoemaker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this board is now in closed session.